Hi, I'm Kamala N'kay Harris. And today, we have a very special guest. You know, a big part of my presidential campaign is that I want to be a president to all Americans, okay? And that includes hearing out people I normally wouldn't ever listen to. Oh, I think our guest is here. Hi.
Wow,
Welcome.
fantastic. Thank you.
So, yeah, well, thank you. Welcome.
I parked the dark van outside and I scaled the back of the wall. Yeah, that's how we're here.
You scaled the... Okay, well, welcome, RFK Jr.
Robert Kennedy, Madam Vice President, it's an honor, to be here.
Absolutely.
Rivals, of course, across the aisle. Differences of opinion, of course.
What?
We have differences of opinion, and I'm here to reach out with an olive branch of my own because I want to be a president, for the whole country and for everybody. And so I'm reaching out to you here.
I'm reaching out to you,
and I appreciate you reaching back.
And we're reaching each other.
We reach, and I appreciate from where I'm in the center of American politics, and I can even reach out to the far left.
And that's the thing we can agree, because like a Venn diagram, you'll have two sides, right? And then in the middle is the center where we meet, and I love that we're meeting at this Reachment.
I'm on the polar edges of a number of Venn diagrams, but when it comes to American politics, I'm clearly in the center of the center. There's a center and there's a rationality, and I'm right there.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. If I may, Kamala.
Yeah.
That I wanted to reach out almost through mercy. Because I saw that there's some, you've got some struggles with your campaign. Your campaign is flailing in many ways.
I don't think that's true at all. Are you dying? What was that?
I think it's coming.
What?
I think one's coming.
Oh my God.
I know it happens on the campaign trail all the time. It's a sign. One of the worms.
Is this a worm?
2 weeks.
Oh my God.
They're up there and they reproduce, non-sexually, of course, but they make a nice little snack. You gotta live, you gotta run the campaign.
Right.
You gotta run it. You gotta, whatever the resources are, you gotta handle.
Right. Hey, real quick, I'm just gonna take a time out right quick and just kind of say something to my producer. Hey, Chrissy. The Secret Service, they're like around, right? They're close by. All right. I just want... am I? You think I'm okay? Okay.
Your Majesty, Vice President, I wanted to, reach out, of course, because, you have a failing campaign.
It's not true.
Failing and flailing, and I've read a number of the polls.
Right.
Yeah, and since I dropped out, I decided maybe I'd drop back in just to see what condition my condition was in. And I'm looking at the polls. We've got, a poll from the Epic Times that has me crossing 22%. Should I jump back into the race in New Hampshire? Of course.
Of course.
And we're seeing, the Democratic convention was a disaster. And obviously it's because the Democratic Party has abandoned its principles that were so important back in the glory days, the heyday of the Kennedy family. And the hallmark of a Kennedy, and I think this is one of the advantages that I've had with my winning campaign as a kingmaker here.
A kingmaker?
In 2024, queenmaker, kingmaker, of course. One of the hallmarks is that I have that Kennedy charm.
Right, yeah.
The Kennedy, generations of that Kennedy charm.
And if there was one word I would use to describe you, it is charming.
That's right. The Kennedy family, known to be, very good-looking men and also fantastic communicators. So I think America is ready for another round of that, of course, here in the second iteration of the Robert Kennedy campaign.
Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you for all of that. That was great. Thank you so much for being here and for reaching across the aisle.
And thank you for being here. It's fantastic. I love reaching across the aisle. I was addicted to heroin for a number of years, and that's why I've got an aversion to needles, of course.
You're addicted to heroin? What?
Well, look, just like America's addicted to vaccines.
And that brings me to my next point. You're all about healthcare.
I can do push-ups upside down.
What the hell?
You want to see that?
No.
I can do push-ups upside down. This is the kind of exercise that can't be done by somebody who's had a vaccine. Right. No one has ever been able to accomplish this in the White House.
I can do that.
You can't do that, Kamala. I know you can't do that.
No, I can do that.
Hip hop.
What the hell?
That's fitness.
No, this is not an upside down push-up like at all. It was, for those of you listening, we're just kind of doing like dips.
That's the exercise, the secret exercise that cured Teddy Roosevelt's asthma.
Right.
A great hero of mine, we reached across the aisle, of course.
Right.
I reached across the aisle at Kroger.
Yeah.
I love reaching across any kind of aisle.
Yeah, you like a reach around. I get it.
Well, I understand there's an innuendo there. I was no stranger to that. Of course, growing up in the illustrious family that I did on the compound.
What the hell? This is great that you're here.
Let's get down to the issues.
Let's get down.
Because there are some things that we might agree on.
Absolutely. Like, I think healthcare is important.
Healthcare is important, and that's why it's important to, rip it out of the hands of the people who are stabbing needles. You got the jab.
Oh, you mean doctors?
You got the jab. Well, it's never a doctor. Look at it. It's always somebody wearing blue. I don't trust people who wear blue scrubs.
I think that's just
You're going to let Zach Braff put a needle in your eyeball?
In your eyeball?
That's what they're trying to do.
I feel like that's a little extreme, Robert. Like, Zach Braff is an actor.
I think that's very moderate, actually. Healthcare. Maybe there's some we can reach across the aisle and find some common ground there, of course.
Right.
Foreign policy. I think we've got to take all of our treaties, boil them down, boil them into a nice little soup, and add a little bit of pigeon or whale meat. And then, have a boilerplate. What you have is a little boilerplate, treaty and to replace NATO and all of that. The United Nations.
Okay.
My father was a leader.
Yeah. Yeah, and your father was a great leader. And, you're also trying to do that. And I feel like, it's not the same as your father or your uncle. Did you just squawk? You squawking? You okay?
And this is something that happens with, true leadership. Sometimes there's a cog that goes, what? And you got, and that's the American politics that they will broadcast on the mainstream news. If you'll notice, probably right now, CNN is pulling away from this because they don't want these remarks to reach out to the American people.
Yeah, that's why they're reaching away. Yeah.
And I think that maybe having you here, there's no way they can turn it away. So if you don't mind, I think we might shadow each other.
That's a funny one.
I think there's a place for you in my cabinet, of course.
In your cabinet?
There might be a place for you in my cabinet.
Well,
I've got a cabinet, and there's a little, if you remember the PBS cartoon, live-action, mixed media cartoon from the 1980s, where there's a little guy in a cup, and he kind of lives there as a little painting on a cup, and he can come down and live with the other dishes. That's what my cabinet's going to be like. I'm going to open up a cupboard, more of a cupboard. You open up the cupboard, and people are going to come out and go, hey, I'm the Secretary of the Interior, Kamala Harris, etc.
I want to reach all Americans, even the crazy ones, okay? I'm on your side, right? I'm on all of our sides. I have your front, your side, your back, your up-downs.
My way around a fivesome here and there. I've been a side. I've been on all sides. I've been a bottom. I've been a submissive pig boy.
Okay, we're talking different stuff.
Look,
I'm talking about.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to put. Look, I'm not afraid to put a dolphin on the table. Have a family meal. Just cut it. Like, slice into some dolphin.
You want to? Okay.
It tastes a little bit like tuna with just a hint. It's like tuna with a hint of a little puppy dog. Look, maybe you're not an adventurous eater.
No, I'm an adventurous eater. You said puppy dog?
Yeah, would you got some tarantulas? You want to snack on some tarantulas wrapped in seaweed? I recently endorsed Donald Trump, of course, because you didn't return my phone calls. But now that I have you here.
I've been busy. It's not that I didn't want to.
Well, it's going to be very hard balancing a failing administration with a failing campaign.
Yeah, you have no idea how much I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, the Washington Times has me up 22% when they poll only me versus Jill Stein and Cornel West.
Right.
Well, that's the polling that we're not seeing in the mainstream media. Only third-party candidates against themselves. Why is that? Why do they only have the two major party candidates? If you do a poll where it's just the third-party candidates, I'm running very strong with even 22%, which is a plurality of the third-party candidates in this country. I think that's basically the numbers that Lincoln won with in 1860. Are you familiar with Abraham Lincoln?
The gay guy?
No, that's what they say. That's sure. If you want to go with the woke, if you want to do the woke agenda, let me tell you something.
Oh my God!
I think when we look at any real American hero, like Teddy Roosevelt or the A-Team or even Abraham Lincoln, Continental or whatever you're looking at, you got to understand out there that there's this woke agenda that's not what progressive politics used to be.
Right.
Progressive politics used to involve a Kennedy giving up and taking off his top hat and giving a speech for 2.5 years until the deep state had enough and said, get out of here.
Get out of here, yeah.
Now, that might be the one issue that I'm correct on, is that my uncle and my father were killed by the government. I know I'm wrong on everything else, but I think the American people have given me a lot of leeway just on being right on that one thing. Those assassinations were done by the government.
A broken clock is right thrice a day.
And that's exactly right. It's right. I'll tell you, it's right at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
And it's right at about 6:45.
All right.
And then in military time, it's correct when you get to the hour of 33:33.
Wow.
That's a Masonic reference, of course.
Masonic Masonry.
No, that's right. And let me tell you something. Should I win this campaign, there's not going to be any Masons in the foundation of the building of the White House, which means they're going to raise it to the ground.
In the foundation of the building?
The building is going to have to be raised to the ground, just like, the Republic, to take it back to its progressive roots.
Wow. I'm scared.
You're not the only one. A lot of people are afraid.
Oh my God, something's coming out your ear. Something's coming out your ear. Something is coming out of your ear.
The ground calls to you.
Hey, is there a priest around? I'm not. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Another brainworm came out of his...
Will you submit? Will you submit? Will you take the... Will you die? He's falling apart.
Hey. All right. I gotta...
Well, Kamala, this has been a fantastic exchange of ideas.
I'm so afraid for my life right now.
Well, we all are. We all are. We're beset by terrible... Look, we all look out. We see the murals.
This man is sweating and spitting, and worms are coming all out of all orifices.
And that's been censored from American politics.
What the hell?
Since the early days of the Republic. That's what it would have been like to sit down and have lunch with a real American like Grover Cleveland, a Democratic hero.
This is fucked up.
America is afraid. You're familiar. We might disagree on some issues, but public art. You go out and you see the murals on the street.
Literally, I cannot.
Everywhere you go, there's a mural with a pyramid that has an eyeball in it, and there's a bunch of guys around a table.
Everything
That's the kind of thing we're afraid of, and it's out there.
Everything you're saying is fucking crazy.
That's right.
I can't even entertain. I was going to try to reach across the aisle, but this is too fucked up.
I'll reach across the aisle. I'll play patty cake with you right now.
What?
I'll play patty cake with you right now.
What the fuck?
RFK, JFK, Jr, JK, Kamala
What is happening?
K, RFK, Kamala, RFK, Kamala, la. That's the kind of patty cake that, it's censored from the American political process.
Right, it's censored. How are you crazier than him?
Well, what? In him, you won't even say the name of someone. Well, I don't like
Donald Trump.
I disagree with him on many issues.
I'm sure.
I disagree with him, but the problem is we never had a chance to sit down, and I think this chemistry is undeniable. I think it's time to jump back into the race.
I think you
Do a little jump rope. I'll jump back in, and then I'll jump back out.
I think you should jump to a psychiatrist.
We've got about 6 weeks left. That's plenty of time. I could get back in and out of the race 5 or 6 more times. I'm a little hungry, though, after all this light exercise. If you want to join me, I have a little lunch. I brought something.
What did you bring?
Well, I was driving around in the van. You know, I got the van from the A-Team at an estate sale. B.A. Baracus is a good friend of mine.
The A-Team gave you a van?
Oh, yeah, I have the A-Team van. And it was, I remodeled it after a Micro Machines.
Right.
There may have been some, I'm an opportunity eater. I have primarily a plant-based diet. I was driving, Roseanne was in the van, and we were driving around, and I do have to get to JFK right after this, so I thought, there's one way. We have a couple of minutes. I could ditch the thing.
Sure,
if you want to
I bet it's weird to go to an airport and it's named after a relative.
Well, I was boiling this last night, and I hope it's still good. Let's see.
What the fuck?
I've been boiling. It's been
Oh,
marinating.
my God!
It's been marinating, I think. Well, maybe.
It's a bear. He's pulling out a bear cub. Oh, my God. He's eating a bear cub. Oh, my God.
Oh, I think it's not ready. I could use
that can't be legal.
Oh,
you brought spices?
Well, there's very few laws when it comes down to things that people would never think to do. I like this Cajun spice. I get this Morton and Bassett Cajun spice, and you put it in there.
Oh, my God.
Anything, whether it's a great bald eagle or a heron that also has a demon inside of it. Like the Miyazaki movie, I've eaten 4 of those.
No wonder there's worms in your brain. What came first?
Yeah, you get a little baby elephant who's been bathing around in some soap bubbles, or you get this little guy. He's he's not cooked yet, but he's almost passed away.
I'm not eating that.
Well, you don't have to eat it. Let me tell you something about trauma.
What?
I was 9 years old when I lost my uncle to the military-industrial complex.
I have whiplash from that.
I was 14 years old when I lost my father to the same group of conspirators. And let me tell you something. When you experience trauma like that at a young age, you start to feel like, well, I was the baby bear. I was the bear cub. And then, the parent bear was taken away, the caretaker bear. And then the trauma response as you get older is you realize, well, maybe it was my fault.
Right.
And I shouldn't have survived. And maybe the baby bear needs to be sacrificed. So you relive the trauma with the outcome that you wish that happened.
Okay.
So really all I am is I'm just trying to find a baby bear as the sacrifice because I want to bring my father back.
Okay.
I want to bring my uncle back. I want to undo what happened at the Ambassador Hotel and at the Daily Plaza. That's the only issue I'm right on. Can you agree on that?
Yeah. Hey,
we need to eat baby bears just to make sure we undo the great national sin of the assassination of my family members.
And it smells crazy. It takes... No, I'm not going to do that.
Let me be president of your entire country.
Thanks so much for coming through, Robert. All right, Robert Kennedy.
Have you ever eaten a woodpecker while it was still alive and started to drill peck from the inside at your rib cage?
Okay, thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you for being here. Our guest this hour has been Kamala Harris. She's running a failing French campaign, but we have a place for her in our cabinet.
You know what? Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm gonna go. I think.
Okay.
I hate this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
And I'm gonna go. Come take a ride in the van. See what we run over.
Absolutely never. You're gonna fucking
possum.
Put spices on me and eat me.
You should see the state dinners.
Have you eaten person?
Well, of course I have, but not that had political rights in this country. Have you ever gone down? I got to get down to the Star Wars exhibit and take a chomp out of Chewbacca.
Right.
I've never eaten any human beings, just very,
sure.
just sort of human-coded characters.
Oh, no,
like
Robert.
Chewbacca. What?
Robert, a baby kangaroo is running in the street.
Oh, well, we got to get him now while he's still fresh, or it's going to taste too stringy.
Well, I don't know how to hunt. You got to go get it. You got to go. No time to touch hands. You got to get out of here. Chrissy, I need you here. I need you here right now.
Yeah, what's up, bud?
What the fuck?
That was scary, and I was scared, and you looked really scared.
What the fuck?
I'm so sorry, but he seems nice.
No, I'm done. Bye.
Okay. We'll wrap it up there.
Okay.